Hello! Happy Black History Month! What am I doing, you may ask? Well, that's silly because I'm getting ready for our date. Because it's also Valentine's Day. So, real quick, I know that before February, we were talking about climate change solutions and we had a whole regular schedule, right? But February has so much stuff to talk about in it. I can't skip it. Okay, we have Valentine's Day, and then we have Black History Month, and we know that I, of all people, cannot be missing Black History Month. So, I've decided that we're going to take a quick hiatus on our regular schedule, but there's no need to worry because I will keep all of this fun, educational, and environmentally sustainable, okay? So, let's get in to today's video. Today we're focusing on Valentine's Day, and it's kind of perfect because this is actually going to be airing on Valentine's Day. Oh no! We're actually going to be talking about environmentally sustainable Valentine's date ideas. I know, I'm excited. But I know Valentine's Day can be a very difficult holiday because it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. For example, I know that there's Valentine's Day and then Galentine's Day and Guyentine's Day and non-binary Tine's Day. Yeah, I'm not too sure. But if we really generalize it, there's Valentine's Day and then there's the one where you cry or distract yourself from Valentine's Day. The best part is that no matter what, no matter which Valentine's Day you're celebrating, I have a date idea for you, okay? So whether you're fine dying or crying, you can be environmentally sustainable while you do it. Do you like my side part? Before we dine or cry, let's talk about sustainability, okay? So sustainability in and of itself is just the idea of acting in a way that's least disruptive to the earth. And while this is a very nice and easy concept, when we take that into society, it can become very constricting and excluding. So, for example, let's take driving a car, right? Well, when you drive a car, it's usually not the most sustainable method of transportation, right? Because we need to use fossil fuels to power that car. But if we take a look at the social and economic standing of any one person, some people can't just not drive a car. But that's okay. That doesn't mean that they can't be an environmentalist or care for the environment. I'm just telling you this because some of the date ideas that I've come up with may not be able to fit in your life or your ability. And that's okay. We need to remember that our enemy isn't each other. It's the big corporations, companies, and governments who have made terrible decisions on our behalf. So don't let anybody tell you that you can't be an environmental activist or care for the environment just because you don't check all the boxes. And certainly don't feel bad if you can't do some of these date ideas. You're here watching, that's all that matters, okay? So now that we've cleared that elephant in the room, and now that I still don't know what I'm going to wear, let's get into our date ideas and I'll have to meet you there. So first up is an incredibly aesthetic zero-waste picnic. And zero waste, for those who don't know, is a set of principles that focuses on the redesign of products to make them either more recyclable or make their life cycles last longer. In this case, we won't be worrying about the redesign part, but for most people, we want to focus on the active and consistent use of these products to make them the norm. Some of the most common products used are things like reusable bags or reusable straws. However, it's important not to get caught up in the aesthetic of sustainability. For example, if you go on Pinterest and you look up sustainability hacks, you'll see things like bento boxes and reusable Ziploc bags. And while these products are fun and beautifully designed, they're not the only zero waste options. In fact, most of those products can often be very expensive and therefore inaccessible to some people. That being said, let's not forget about OG bento boxes. You can either take some from your own kitchen or you can actually save them from your to-go boxes from when you eat out. And instead of a straw, let's just drink from a regular cup. Or if you need to seal a drink or liquid, you can save your jars of mayonnaise or peanut butter and clean them out and reuse them. This is my mayonnaise jars, my vegan mayonnaise jars. I'm vegan. And I have my fruit smoothie in it for our picnic. So, why is this sustainable? And how does this help me act in a way that's least disruptive to the earth? Well, the main thing we avoid in a zero waste picnic is single-use plastics. Single-use plastics are things like water bottles or plastic bags, basically plastics that we only use once and then throw away. Single-use plastics are non-biodegradable, meaning that they don't decompose and recycle back into the earth. So whether it ends up in a landfill or in somewhere other than the trash, it will never break down. This is bad because it can also land in the wrong places, like natural ecosystems or in the ocean or around animals' necks or in their stomachs. And most of those animals, the majority of people actually eat. So in turn, we're being fed all of that plastic right back to us. Some single-use plastics are also unrecyclable. Things like plastic bags, straws, cutlery, those aren't accepted at most recycling centers because of its harmful interaction with recycling machines. All in all, single-use plastics are a big no-no and can often and most times be avoided. I know right now it's nearly impossible due to the pandemic and the sanitary state that everything has to be in. But if we cook our own zero-waste picnic and put it in our own zero-waste containers, it can be an adorable and sustainable date idea. The next date idea is going to be a planting date. This can be a super fun and cute idea, but I'm going to warn you ahead of time that for this date idea, you're going to need some money, especially if you don't have some of this stuff already. So you're going to need a plant and a pot or a space to dig a hole. Now, if you're using the pot, you're also going to need some paint and a few rocks to put at the bottom. Or if you're digging a hole, you can get a sign and some paint. Now, you and your date are going to go to a little plant store and pick out an adorable little plant. But I want you to be careful and make sure you choose the right plant for your lifestyle and the environment that you live in. Be cautious of whether you're going to place it outside or inside and choose the right one. We don't want it dying on you, okay? So, once you guys get your plants, if you're using a pot, you can decorate the outside of the pots. Or if you are placing it in the ground, you can actually decorate the sign that you're going to put in front of the plant. Now, how is this sustainable? Well, it depends on what type of plant you choose and where you choose to place it. For example, if you choose a tree to place in your backyard or a lot, that's huge. All plants are natural carbon sequesters. So if you're choosing a tree that's taking carbon out of the air, that's a big step. I'm always talking about how unification of the masses is going to be needed to back this movement up and how it's hard for one person to change much. But if you're planting a whole tree and taking carbon out of the air, that's a big step and a big commitment, and I'm proud of you. But let's say you get a small houseplant, something to keep inside and near your bed or in the kitchen, maybe in your office. Just having a plant in general in the house can often reduce stress and increase productivity. And depending on which plant you get, some will actually filter the air out for you or give off a scent that increases your mood throughout the day. And I know you're still wondering, well, Ariana, how does this help me be environmentally sustainable? Well, my rebuttal? You can't be the best environmental activist you can be if you're not working at your best. Self-care helps the environment too, because it helps you, our most vital advocator and activist in this fight to save the earth. Duh. Our last date idea is to have a vegan or vegetarian dinner. And this one is very cool because you can dress up or dress down no matter whether you stay at home or go out. You can either get super dressed up and fancy and go to your favorite vegan restaurant, Or you can dress down and go to a cool, eclectic vegan restaurant. Or if you're staying at home, you can dress up the dinner table with some candles and fancy plates. Or you can have a few friends over and make something snacky. Vegan nachos are my favorite. Now, I know you're definitely wondering, Ariana, how does not eating meat and or dairy make me more environmentally sustainable? Well, if you were here for my pie video, one of the sections of carbon emissions that we talked about was called agriculture and deforestation. And if you remember, that was caused by three parts. It was either animals belching carbon emissions, or the deforestation caused to make more room for animal agriculture, or by the tools to maintain the animals and areas. So, by reducing your meat intake, especially because we go big and bold and grand on holidays and celebrations, we can actually lower the demand of meat and therefore decrease the amount of emissions that comes from this section alone. So while it's easiest to go out to a vegan or vegetarian restaurant, it may be more cost effective to cook a meal at home. So down below, I'm going to add a few links to help you make a delicious vegan or vegetarian dish. Thank you so much for coming with me today. I loved having 3 dates with you, but I think we're moving a little fast for my pace. You know, I might have to take a break. Just kidding, I love you guys too much. Let me know if you guys try any of these out, and please comment down below which one was your favorite. Thank you so much again for joining me and for all of your support. Don't forget to click that like and subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Sincerely, Ari.